Why are we never okay? Imagine you are driving your dream car on an empty highway. The music is great, the AC is chilling, everything seems perfect, but the moment you hit 100 km/h, you feel something is missing. The speakers aren't wow enough, the road isn't smooth enough, the cars ahead are too slow. And despite all the effort you put in to get this dream car, why does it still feel off? Why isn't it as satisfying as you expected? This is dukkha. In English, it is often translated as suffering, but that's a shorthand version. Its Pali root refers to a wheel that is out of axis, an implicit sense of unsatisfactoriness. Have you ever wondered why even in our most successful moments, we still feel something is lacking? You just got promoted, you just bought a new house, or simply had an incredible dinner. But just a few hours later, or a few days at most, that empty feeling returns. We start looking around and asking, what's next? It's not because you are greedy, it's because the operating system of our mind is running on the platform of Dukkha, the 3 levels of the Wobble. To understand why we never feel enough, let's deconstruct Dukkha into 3 levels that everyone in modern society experiences daily. 1. Level 1. The random arrow's life is a terrible archer. It draws its bow and shoots randomly at all living beings. You are no exception. A toothache? Unemployment? A breakup? That is reality. But what is our biggest mistake? The Buddha taught that when an ordinary person experiences a painful sensation, they weep, complain, beat their chest, and become distraught. This is how they feel 2 kinds of pain, physical and mental. It is no different than being shot by an arrow, only to be shot by a second arrow immediately after. The person must endure the agony of 2 arrows, one in the body and one in the mind. The first arrow is physical pain. This can be managed or healed. But the mental pain is the one that consumes the most energy. Why? Because we look for external things to cover it up. But how can a person shot by an arrow recover just by listening to music? That is exactly what suffering is. You cannot control being shot, but you have every right to refuse to torture yourself with the question, why me? Don't waste 90% of your energy reacting to 10% of the actual pain. Level 2. The trap of change. We suffer because we try to freeze frame things that have an expiration date. You want love to stay like the first day. You want your looks never to fade. You want your iPhone to stay the latest model forever. Going back to your new car at the start of the video, surely you want it to stay brand new, never have a collision, never get a scratch, never wear out. Even then, you hope it remains the trendiest, newest style. But that is impossible. You spend so much effort caring for it, maintaining it, cleaning it, yet the car must get old, it must wear down, and scratches will appear for reasons you'll never know. Furthermore, manufacturers will always release updates that make your car obsolete. You will suffer because your car is old, even though its function, to get you from A to B, is still serving you perfectly well. Things don't hurt you. It is the delusion of permanence that hurts you. Don't try to take a photo to keep the moment. Live in the moment before it vanishes. 3. Level 3. Existential trauma. This is the feeling that you must always become something. You are racing against KPIs, personal branding, and social standards, yet you remain empty inside. Back to your car, when you feel that the car has become old, you suddenly hate it, the very car you loved so much just a few days ago. Then you see a colleague owning a trendier car, and you start to hate your colleague too. What does that guy have over me? Why does he own that car? I worked harder. Why don't my wife and kids understand me? Thousands of whys surround you, making your life feel like you are a failure. But what is the reality? Your car is still a top-tier vehicle with leading technology. You just don't like it anymore. This is the second arrow. You are stranding yourself on the shores of illusory goals. Trying to reach this position or that title is just like looking at your car with hatred, blaming it for making your life a dead end. Achieving this or that is entirely an external matter. The mechanism of dopamine and saltwater. Why are we so addicted to our phones? Why do we scroll TikTok until 2 a.m. even when our eyes are burning? Because that is how we try to fix our wobbling wheel axis. Every swipe is a moment where you hope to find something to help you forget the inner restlessness. But science has proven dopamine is not the hormone of satisfaction. It is the hormone of promise. It promises that the next video will be better. The next purchase will make you happier. It is exactly like the example of a person drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. We live in a world of abundance, yet always feel deprived. We live in a world that is connected 24/7, yet feel lonelier than ever. That is because we are using noise to drown out noise. You cannot find silence by turning up the volume of the chaos, becoming the master player. So the question is, how do we stop this wobble? The truth is, you cannot stop the world, but you can change how you sit in that car. The Buddha taught that when someone is shot by an arrow, the first thing they must do is pull it out. That person would die long before they could answer who shot it or whether the archer was a man or a woman. It's like admitting to your doctor, I am sick. This doesn't make us weak or broken. It is the first step toward a cure. A patient can only recover when they admit they are ill. When you accept that, oh, this wheel axis is inherently off, the wobble suddenly stops bothering you. Freedom doesn't come from smoothing out the road. It comes from realizing you are the ocean, not a single leaf. Waves will still crash. Dukkha will still exist. And undesirable things will still happen. But when you have wisdom regarding it, you are no longer knocked down by it. You see anger arising and say, ah, that's dukkha. You see a craving arise while browsing the web and say, ah, that's saltwater. Just by recognizing it, its power over you is cut in half. Peace isn't when everything around you is perfect. Peace is when you realize that imperfection is an inevitable part of this game. And the moment you accept that, you've leveled up. This is it. I want you to try a small exercise tonight. Don't turn off your phone completely. I know that's hard, but try to sit still for 5 minutes without doing anything. Don't try to meditate. Don't try to reach any high state. Just observe your restlessness. Observe the way your mind screams for stimulation. Look at your car. Admit that you don't like this or that about it. Not to deceive yourself, but to acknowledge that this is not a perfect car. Only when you break the image of the ultimate perfect car can you free yourself from the car itself. To see that a car is just a means of transportation. Then you will see how clearly dukkha is operating. And in that very moment, when you can observe it without running away, that is when you truly start to master your life. Everything you need to be at peace is already here. Not in the next video, not in the next goal, right now.